And we usually talk about terroir. Terroir is a very important word. Everybody now loves to talk about terroir wines. Start the presentation by talking about terroir, about how the terroir is important, how my wines are focused on being terroir wines that represent that terroir. And we say, but what is terroir? Well, terroir, the word terroir comes from terra. Terra means soil. But the terroir is much more than just the soil type. If it's schist, if it's clay, if it's limestone. No, the terroir represents the soil, the sun, the rain, the cold, the heat, the people who work in it, the steppers of people. If the person is working organic or non-organic, this is all important for the production of the wine. And so when we think about terroir, we think about generations and generations of land, untouched land for millions and millions of years. Stones that have been compacted by tectonic plates. A scenario that's been there much before than we were, us people. But sometimes we have companies and producers that are almost as old as the terroir. And the true fact is that our company, Real Companhia Velha, was founded in 1756 to create that first demarcation of the Douro. We knew the Douro was there, we knew that the Douro had quality because port wine was being produced there. And port wine was our Cristiano Ronaldo of the time. It was the biggest name of Portugal, it was the most sold Portuguese product. And we discovered that port wine there, the Marquis of Pombal discovered that it was so good that it was being repeated in many other countries. And so he said, no, let's create the first demarcated and controlled area in the world. This demarcation makes sure that this is port wine. As other demarcations make sure that that is Champagne, that is Bordeaux, that is Napa Valley. That definitely guarantees you that what is something is really something from that specific place. And so when we come here to the Douro, we kind of say that we were punished by God. We were punished. And this Sobreiro will tell you how his story is. What is this Sobreiro? Why is he here? And what can we learn from him? And that precisely, we Douro people believe that we were punished by God. Because when God started to create the world, there were 5 basic needs that we need. We need water to kill our thirst. We need food just to fill our bellies. We need warmth. We need shelter. And when we go to think about wine, wine is a commodity. We don't need wine to survive. Wine for us is something for pleasure, for us to enjoy, for us, something for us to share and to have a passion for. And so when God created the earth, when he came to wine regions, he thought it was like the 28th or 29th thing he did in the world. And so he arrived in Bordeaux and he said, a wine region, I'm going to make it flat. He goes to Burgundy and said, I'm going to make it flat, with a little bit of a hilly side, but I'll make it basically flat. Rioja, flat. He came down to Portugal, Alentejo, and he did that huge plateau of a straight line. And then he came here to the Douro and he looked at us and he said, I am going to punish these people. I'm going to punish these people and I'll start by making their lives very, very difficult. So he got the sheet with the vineyards and he did like this. And he created the mountain. Well, he also punished the people of the Priorat, the people of Ribeira Sacra, a little bit in Piemonte as well, so he liked to punish a few wine regions.
And the Mosel.
And the Mosel and Wachau, exactly, let's say the most important wine regions when it comes to making, essentially working in the mountain, the Mosel, Wachau, the Douro, the Priorat and the Ribeira Sacra. We are talking about a very small nucleus of wine regions that represent about 5% of the wine regions of the world, which are in the mountains. And this for us, we see it as a very big punishment, because this is how we have to work. We work sometimes with 90% inclination, 90 degrees, not percent, sorry, 90 degrees inclination. We have, let's say, the necessity to work on the mountain. This is not natural. We had to use our arms and strength to break down the mountain and build the layers, because 500 years ago there was no machines. Machines we have today. And we had to force ourselves to create these, we call them sucalcos in Portuguese. We call them terraces in English. And these terraces were made for a very specific reason, for us to be able to access our vineyards. But I can tell you one thing. The Alentejo has around 23,000 hectares of vineyards, but in 1 hectare they can put 10 to 15,000 plants. On this side we put 4,000 to 5,000 plants, 3 times as less plants that are producing and giving us wine. So our production is limited, our access to the vineyard is limited. We need to have more people, we need more strength. We cannot have, let's say, a horse and a carriage and 2 people working because it's flat. No, we need much more people than that. On the second hand, God decided to punish us for the second time. This weather. 9 months of winter, 3 months of pure hell. We are here in the winter now and we are okay. I'm okay, because at 10 degrees, it's okay. But this is the turnover to spring. We're not yet in spring, we're still in winter, but it's the turnover. Because if you come here in the end of December, beginning of January, you will go below 0. Which in Russia is nothing, right? I mean, if we don't go below minus 30, minus 20 or minus 25, we go minus 2, minus 3 sometimes, in very rare occasions a bit more than that. But it is for us a very cold winter. And then you come here in August. We recorded in September, let's say August 2017, at Quinta de Carvalhas, 53 degrees Celsius. Pure heat. You don't even feel the heat. Your body is completely numb because it's so hot, so hot, so hot that you don't know how to, if you faint, if you stand up, you are in a complete, let's say, hell. Everything is burning around us. And so that is a condition that we were having to face in this region. And then the third and biggest punishment of it all, God gave us that soil. This is what we have to